Today marks a super exciting day. It's our first actual show. We're marking this as the first show with my co host, Mr. Coconut, here. You know, he's going to be interacting with everybody, answering questions, and just doing his thing. He's an excellent co-host. So you guys, I'll give him a big round of applause when the show's over. So today marks the first day of this super exciting show. About 10 or 11 days ago, I got this crazy idea to basically develop a networking show to introduce people that I know with people that we don't know, and just kind of get the community connected with the community. So my friend Jason said to me, you know, Audra, just do something that you really love, and you know you'll be happier because you did it. And so here I am on talking to you guys, and really talking to, not sure who I'm talking to, but just getting the message out there that we want to connect people in the community. We want to introduce you guys to people that you wouldn't normally know, and so that you could decide for yourself instead of maybe getting like that referral from a friend of a friend, or I use this guy, and you know, go ahead and call him, and you're just like looking at a phone number and you're like, okay, maybe I'll call him, or maybe the card just like goes in the drawer, right? And you're like, oh, that's that guy that I was supposed to call about that one thing, and he never did it. And because you never made that call, maybe you didn't actually get around to doing that thing that you wanted to do. So I think it's important that we bring people to you, and so that you can decide by watching them and getting to know them more on like a personal level, so that you could see if you connect with them. Because when you connect with someone, and when you get to know someone, and you know, you start to develop a relationship, and you could develop that before you actually even give them your business. So that's kind of where it all stems from. Is And also, I wanted to help out some of my friends in the real estate, mortgage, insurance business, because that's really where I have been for the last 20 years, is in the mortgage industry. And nowadays, it is so crazy on how you get in touch with a person. Even me as a mortgage lender, when I walk into a bank, to get to like the right area, you have to go through like 5 or 6 different people, and then you're sitting there, and you're kind of sitting in your chair, just going like, am I really supposed to be talking to this person? Then what are we even going to talk about? You're like, I just had a question like really quick about like, what are the rates today? And all of a sudden, you know, you're sitting down and you're waiting for someone to come out who you don't even know who you're waiting for. So I thought, you know, again, we're going to answer questions for you guys, but I thought it'd be neat to meet someone before you actually go through all that time and effort. So we have some fun stuff for you today. We've got a couple things called the Rant of the Day, Audra's List, a couple of my favorites that I want to tell you about. The days of our lives, you know, maybe just kind of integrating, you know, stuff from your actual life, my actual life. I want to tell you a story of how I'm becoming my mother before my own eyes. And I'm hearing myself say, when you get my age, like to my son, when you get my age, or you might hear yourself saying, trust me, one day when you have kids, yeah, when you start saying those things, you start realizing that you're your mom. Okay. So let's go back to the rant for the day. Actually, I already did that about the bank, but Audra's List. So I'm going to tell you about two businesses that I really, really enjoy. If anybody didn't know something about me, I love to sing karaoke. Many times throughout this show, you're probably going to see me actually break into song at any given moment, because songs just come into my head and I just sing them really quick and then they're out. So I love singing karaoke. And one of my favorite new karaoke places is Bella Vita. Okay, if you don't know about it, now you know. If you don't know, Bella Vita on Blue Diamond on Wednesday nights, they have karaoke down there. And a good friend of mine, Sean Love, and Mark Ashton are the hosts. And they put on a really great show. And you could just literally kind of like walk in there, put your name on a list like normal karaoke days, and sing a song. and it's pretty cool. You've got a really interactive crowd. They serve excellent food down there, and it's just a lot of fun. And I love it because it's down the street from my house. So that's good. So excellent karaoke place for anybody who is interested in that. Also, I just went to, I love finding great little coffee joints. And I don't get out as much as I need to or as much as I'm going to for the show's purposes. But going to these coffee places, I see my friend Jillian Batchelor, she's going to these coffee places all the time. And like 1 second she'll be like, oh, I'm over at Makers and Finders, or I'm over here at the Grind, or I'm over here, and I'm like, I want to go to those places, and I don't really know where they're at. So I found this one. I wanted to share it with you and tell you the location so you could go instead of just kind of like putting, using it as a backdrop. I want to tell you about it. So the breakfast place is called Good Morning. All right, it's got a great name, right? Anything with good in the name, it's good. And so it's a great little coffee joint. They have excellent food there. They even have like a DJ, which is always kind of fun. You can listen to great music. I took my mom there yesterday after my tennis game, and we had a lovely little breakfast. What did I have? I had like eggs Benedict, and she had some pancakes. The service was awesome. I'm really into service. I love smiling faces. I love tentative, staff. It just makes my experience so much better. And nowadays, when you spend your money, I think it's important that you have that experience. So I think 2 really great places that you guys should consider checking out when you have some free time is the coffee shop called Good Morning on Rainbow, and also Bella Vita for some good night karaoke on Wednesday nights. Okay, so we're going to go into a little segment called The Days of Our Lives. And that is me just telling you a really funny story of the disconnect between adults, okay, parents, and teenagers, right? It's a real mental mind gap. I find it very interesting, so I thought I'd just tell you a little funny story. So I said to my son, I said, because I'm toying with the situation of getting rid of this boat. I'm a boat owner, so for any of you out there that are boat owners, you'll probably really like this story, I hope. But the story is that I said to my son, I was thinking about selling the boat, son. And I was like, I really wish that you would have learned how to drive the boat, because he was never really into it. I've had it his whole life. He's 14 now. I've had the boat his whole life. I've offered to take him out, hundreds of times. I've always wanted to kind of race my child on a boat, where family outings and, bringing the kids and, picnics and, just kind of going out. But it didn't exactly work out that way because, we don't really have a lot of family here in Vegas. So, it's very difficult as a female to take a child out on a boat and then there's really no one else on the boat. It's kind of like, what can you do? You can't leave him on the boat while you have to do everything. So I didn't really get to, give him that opportunity of how to drive a boat, how to dock a boat, how to load it. Anyways, the good news is this. He says to me, I know how to drive a boat. And I'm like, you do? And he's like, yeah. He's like, Papa told me how to drive a boat. And I'm like, well, honey, he probably showed you, some things, but you don't know how to drive a boat, right? And he goes, he basically says to me, why did you say the same thing? You don't know how to drive a boat, but you really don't know how to drive a boat. And I said, well, because of tone. So you could say the same thing 2 times in a row, but if you switch up the tone, it's basically like saying 2 different things. So long story short, he reiterates that he definitely knows how to drive a boat because he's backed it off of a trailer and he's put it onto a trailer and he's steered for a little bit. But I was like, honey, there's a lot more to driving a boat than that. What if you come up to a sandbar? What are you going to do? And he's like, what's the difference between driving a car, which he doesn't know how to do either, and driving a boat? I'm like, brakes? Okay, there's no brakes on a boat. A lot of people, like, you can meet the coolest people, the smartest people in the world. You get them around a boat and they can't even figure out how to sling their leg over the side of it, right? They're like, like CEOs of companies, how do I get on? You're like, just throw your leg over, man. Just hop on. You know, they get in the boat and they're just like, they're frantic, right? They're sitting down, they're putting sunblock on, they're lubing up their kids and everything, and they're like, okay. You're like 20 minutes in, they haven't spoken. They're so afraid of getting sunburnt, they haven't spoken, and you're just like, oh my God, thank God I was here to drive the boat, right? To get it launched, to get us on the water, to get us like moving, because worthless. Most people, if they don't know what they're doing on a boat, it's a lot, okay? So, anyways, my son, he really doesn't know how to drive a boat. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. And so I said, do me a favor, sweetie. When you're 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever age, and someone's like, does anybody know how to drive a boat? Please say no, okay? Because I don't want you to be held liable for not knowing what the heck you're doing. All right, and those are the days of our lives. All right, moving on here. We've got, what do we have? Oh, let's talk about some upcoming shows you are not going to want to miss. We have the great Jeremy Lewis coming in here in the house next Tuesday. He is a kind of a pioneer when it comes to the social media stuff. I've been watching him for probably the last 5 years, and I've seen him start with just, a camera right here at his face to now a huge production crew, following him around. And now he is selling how-tos on to do it. And it's really quite amazing. I mean, I don't really think that people understand the work that goes into, producing a show, getting it out there, the content that's involved. Not that we want to bore you with all that, but it is quite a big production. So this guy is a pioneer, and we're going to have him on the show next week. It's pretty exciting. I'm very excited about it. So we also have people coming like Greg Adamore. Greg Adamore, if you don't know who this agent is, he has actually been a referring agent of mine for 17 years. That is a super, super long time to be working with a business partner, never getting paid by each other, just working together because you genuinely trust each other, you like how each other works. And let me tell you something, guys. He's been doing this for 40 years. So sometimes you might meet a real estate agent that just got their license a couple weeks ago, and that's okay, right? That's totally okay. They might have some insider information, what have you. But then there might be an agent that you could meet, but like Greg, and he could be in the business right here in Las Vegas for 40 years. Like, that guy's seen some stuff, you know what I mean? He might be a trusted advisor in that area. So you're going to be able to get to meet him. If you relate to him, fabulous. Give him a call. If you don't, no big deal, right? We have also another wonderful friend of mine. His name is Shane Wynn, and this guy, he's agreed to come on my show. I feel so lucky to have him. He's actually going to talk about mindset, so I think that's going to be a super exciting show to stay tuned for. Oh, whoopsies. We've got Nieve Melandra. She's a beautiful singer. She's a business owner. She's also she's coaching and producing her daughter, who is a rising star, quickly rising star right here in Las Vegas. Excellent voices, both of them. She's a boss babe. We're going to have a little segment on this show where we feature boss babes right here in Vegas. There are so many women that bring so much to this community, right? They're not just pretty faces, but they have such intelligence and charisma and poise. And then on top of that, like, they're educated, they're gorgeous, they don't mess around. They've got goals and dreams, they're executing. And I think that Vegas needs to meet these ladies, right? Because how else are you going to meet them? Huh? How else are you going to stumble across these people that maybe you haven't had the opportunity to stumble across? So Boss Babes is coming. And we've got Natalia Rios. She is another boss babe, okay? Good friend of mine, and she's going to be on the show. We've got David Evans with White Cart. He's going to be talking about the power of dogs. And I mean, just check out this dog right here, okay? Like, he hasn't said a word. I know co-hosts normally are supposed to chime in now and again, but he's a little tired. He's a little tired today, and that's okay. But anyways, the power of dogs. I really am excited to have David on the show because I believe in the power of dogs. I really do. They're like little angels, right? That have been given to us. And so we're very lucky to have these little creatures in our life. And he's going to talk a little bit about what they do for us, okay? And I think that's a really interesting show because it's nice to get a different perspective on what other people have interest in, right? It's not always just work, 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 work. Sometimes you have to have other interests in life in order to be happy because work is just one little facet of your life. We've got Omar Lopez coming on. This guy is such a breath of fresh air. I can't wait for him to be on the show because he is an immigrant. Okay, he's come here from, I want to say, and I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong, but I want to say Colombia, Cuba. I'm not sure. I really apologize. I'm going to get this information for you. But Omar has, he came here. He didn't know the language. He learned it. He became a real estate agent. He was successful in that. Now he is a developer. He owns land. He's a commercial agent. He's working with all these different people. He's creating stuff that nobody thought was really possible. Not really, for him. Not for a lot of people, to be honest with you. But people had their doubts, and this person has overcome those doubts and is extremely successful now. So, I want him on the show too, and he agreed. So I'm very happy about that. We got Jeff Michaelman, one of my dearest friends, and then we have the gorgeous Chanel from WFG coming on the show as well. Chanel is she's great because not only is she, again, another boss babe, but she's going to kind of explain to us what the heck title insurance is, all right? I used to work in the title insurance industry for like 3 or 4 years for actually her boss, Henry Buchanan. So, and he's adorable. One day we might get him on too. But I used to work for the same boss that she does. And honestly, title insurance is a very difficult thing to explain. So I'm going to stay tuned for that as well. Meet Chanel from WFG. And what else do we have here? Okay, this is something that I want to start again, okay? It's very simple, guys. It's called Good Deed for the Day, all right? I think a lot of people have really kind of forgot about that or just was like, oh, yeah, like it used to be a thing. Like when I was growing up, I was like, I want to do a good deed every day. And if that's just as little as like opening a door for someone, do it, right? Do whatever you can to try and be nice to someone else. The whole pay it forward thing, I loved that. I loved it when people were buying other people's Starbucks in the cars and stuff like that. But it's not always financial, right? I mean, so you don't always have to go and drop $20 on the car behind you to make yourself feel good that you did a good deed for the day. That's just one way to do it. We're going to come up with a lot of ways to do good deeds of the day. Let's just start with one today. Start opening the door for someone. If you see someone behind you, just hold it open and maybe say hi as they walk by. It makes you feel a lot better when you help people, and it makes them feel better too. And I think people have actually stopped holding doors because there's so many people that don't say thank you. So if you're one of those non-thank you door walker throughers, say thank you next time, because that's probably why people have stopped holding doors for people, is because they weren't getting any type of thank you or gratification out of the person that was walking through it. But here's the thing about good deeds, right? Even though you don't get a thank you out of it, you still are doing it for yourself. Okay, do it for yourself because it makes you feel good. So we're going to have some of those on there. Today it's opening doors for other people. I've got something else that's going to be on the show too. It's called the melting pot. Vegas is a huge melting pot, right? All different types of people, walks of life, different nationalities. And I want to introduce you to different nationalities, different people, males, females, what have you, in all these, in every nationality that we can get our hands on. A lot of times in this industry, in the mortgage, real estate, and insurance industry, you do work with referrals. So if you're not referred to someone, then maybe you would not normally meet them. And, agents are encouraged to have about 3 people that they refer. But sometimes people want to do business with people that they know, right? Or maybe that are in the same nationality as them. So I want to try and bring those people to you. Bring someone who might be Korean who has their mortgage license that you would never have normally heard about to the show so that you guys can meet that person. And I think that's important, right? It's important to always try and make sure that everybody is included, right? We want to try and include everybody. We don't want to leave anybody out. One of the coolest things about the Equal Credit Opportunity Act is that we do not discriminate: race, color, sex, creed, national origin, marital status, et cetera, et cetera. And so I want to make sure that I carry that on to this show. I want to make sure that we're always including everybody, not just 3 people or the people that are sponsoring the show or my friends. I want to try and do it for everybody. All right, we have something called Scan the Code and Win a Prize. So we have a bunch of giveaways that are coming in, and we would love to give to you. So if you scan the QR code Live with Audra and you follow the show, you will get a chance to pick something from our giveaways. And also we have lots of cool stuff too that we give away time to time, maybe every 10th person, some of them every 50th person. We've got really nice golf shirts, some water bottles like Hydro Flask type coming, high quality, and everybody needs that, right? It's summer is coming, and you're gonna need some water bottles, right? So you might as well have one from the show. That's what I think. So when you see the code, go ahead and scan it, please, and follow us, right? Let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, we passed the melting pot. Okay, I think, all right. We've got the sole proprietor of the month, and I think that, I'm saying soul as in SOUL, right? So the Soul Train. Does anybody remember that show? I don't know. But I do, okay? I think I was like 5 when I was watching it, and I loved the show. It was like a dance show, everybody was doing their dance. Loved it. So my sole proprietor of the month is someone I just connected with online, and his name is Coco Vinny, okay? Coco Vinny, I actually came across his product probably about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It's basically it's a coconut, right? His idea is selling a coconut water right from the best source from the coconut itself. So he taps right into the coconut and you drink it right out of the coconut. In fact, I actually named my dog Mr. Coconut, not because I met Coco Vinny, because I actually hadn't met him at the time, but I just thought the name was so funny. I just think the name Coconut is so funny. So I named my dog Mr. Coconut. All right. But he's the sole proprietor of the month, and the reason why, guys, is because I have watched this man grow. Right? I've seen him when he was in his infantile stages, just having coconuts, tapped coconuts right out of a little pushy cart, up to where he is making major deals with major corporations right now. And I couldn't be prouder to basically recognize someone who's worked so hard and who's just making their way in life, right? They had a dream and they're doing it. And I just think that they need to be recognized. So we're really proud of him here. And let's see. I think we've pretty much covered everything. We would love for you guys to keep checking us out week after week and supporting us. If you like our show, subscribe to all of our sources. We got YouTube. We got Instagram. We got Live with Audra on Facebook. We've got more coming too. And your support means everything to us. It really does. And also, tell a friend, right? If you like something, don't you normally tell someone, like, oh my God, I was watching this girl. Her name's Audra, blah, 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 blah. She's crazy. We got to watch her, right? Go ahead and do that. All right, so disclosure time. We didn't really have to disclose too much. I really didn't throw out a lot of names today as far as like using my mortgage or my real estate insurance. I just said that I did it, but it's always good. Error and caution, right? Throw out the information. So if you need to reach me, my mortgage license number is 3554118. I do work with Celebrity Home Loans, and I hold my real estate license over at Resolution Realty, which is S.0192794. So those are, you can always find us online. You could call me on my phone, which is going to be, my number is published on our website, and you can always reach us if you have any questions. So thank you so much for watching. It's just such a pleasure to be here. You're live with Audra, and we'll see you next week.